All right, empowered leaders. Tonight we are talking about the 2-week turnaround, and we're going to emphasize a lot on branding on social media for Facebook and on Instagram. And so this topic is something I am so passionate about because I used to be really crappy at it. Like, I just was all over the place with my branding and just kind of a, free-for-all, just kind of throwing mud against the wall, just, okay, see what sticks. So once I honed this skill and really kind of failed forward, I have learned so much, and it's a complete honor and a really exciting to share it with other people and help them figure out what works for them. So we're going to start with the 2-week turnaround. For those who have watched or were on the call 2 weeks ago, we kicked this off with the essentials. And if you haven't watched that, I encourage you to go into our file section and look at the team call recordings, and you'll see the YouTube link for the essentials. Because we talked about direct income producing activities and indirect. Tonight we're going to focus on the indirect income producing activities. And it's what we're referring to it as the 2-week turnaround. And this should be about 20% of the time that you put into your business. Okay, so think about that. 80% is on the direct income producing activities, and about 20% of your time should be on these indirect ones. Okay, so we're going to jump into it. So the 2-week turnaround is, just consider this a shift for your business. You will find a groove that works for you once you're doing this, and that will really help you maintain beyond those 2 weeks. Because really you want to maintain these habits for as long as you're willing to be successful with Isagenix, which if you're on this call, that means forever. You want to be successful. This is your forever life. Like, you want this for yourself and for your family, for your friends, for your dream, for your vision. So developing these habits as soon as possible is so essential to having the supplemental success that you need. So within the 2 weeks, what you're going to notice is you're going to be forming these habits so that you can completely turn around your business. So this is great if you're feeling stagnant. This is great if you're already feeling momentum and you just want to kind of get a grasp and have some structure. This literally works any time. But we're going to walk through it, and you're going to know if you're really ready to implement this or not. Okay, so the 2-week turnaround. There are 5 steps. Okay, so for those of you who are taking notes, which should be everybody, 5 steps. So step 1, you're going to add value. Add value to people's lives. Now, this may seem like a no-brainer, but how often do we actually intentionally sit down and think, who am I going to add value to today? Because I know for a long time, and even still with busyness of life and kids and everything else, I will find opportunities to add value to people's lives organically, just like as they come into my world. But sometimes I don't even leave the house. Okay. And sometimes I'm not on Facebook till 5 o'clock at night, so you have to be intentional with things like this to develop a really good habit. And so when I first implemented this a year and a half ago, this one, I had to stop and actually think about it. And then I realized how little I was actually intentionally adding value to people's lives every day, and it completely shifted for me. And so why is this important? We are in the business of loving people. We are in the business of loving people. And so if you're ever in like a mental funk, or like your business feels stagnant, or you're just kind of feeling crummy for yourself, about yourself, insecurities, whatever, we all go there, right? We all go there. Anytime you catch yourself focusing more on you than on others, that's a great time to add value to someone's life. And so that's what this does, is it helps you be proactive with who it is you're going to reach out to. And so if you don't know how to add value, you're probably not going to be successful, because that's what this is. Network marketing is about adding value to someone's life, especially with Isagenix. And I heard this quote once, and I loved how it was a mindset shift for me, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So think about that, especially for us reds. Anyone else is a red like I am, we just think we're right all the time. And maybe we're right a lot of the time, but what's really hard is that we get so focused on sharing what we know because we know that it's going to add value, but we all have to do a better job of showing people how much we care before they're going to really care how much we know. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so how to do that? You can do this in a lot of different ways. When I was doing this 2-week turnaround, when I first initiated it, I knew I needed to track it. So I picked 3. That was my magic number. 3 people every day that I would add value to. Sometimes more, but at least 3 people. Your number could be 1. Your number could be 10. Pray about it. Be realistic with yourself. What is that going to look like for you? I picked 3. So every morning I would wake up, try to wake up at 5 a.m. It didn't always work, but every morning I would wake up and I would think, okay, who are the 3 people I need to add value to today? and I would pray about it, and I would really just think about like, who have I interacted with lately? And you guys, it took me like 5 or 10 seconds to think of 3 people and a reason why I would want to reach out and add value to their life. Okay, it's not rocket science. What are some ways that you can do this though? You pick your 3 people and you could say, okay, maybe one of my people is Amy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Amy just hit Crystal Director again. I'm going to send her a quick video that tells her how much of a rock star she is. And on Facebook, instead of taking a picture, if you hold that button down, you have the opportunity to create a 15-second video that just tells people how awesome they are. Okay, I did this for some people for Mother's Day, and it was so amazing, the feedback that I got. How often do you think people get to have someone take the time to send them a video to tell them how wonderful they are? Not very often. Okay, us in Isagenix, we're amazing and we love each other, but outside of our network, people don't have that kind of positivity in their life. A 15-second Facebook video through Facebook Messenger, not on their wall. I mean, that works too, but that goes a long way. Okay, another way, birthdays. You can see whose birthday it is on Facebook, send them a video or, whatever that way. Like, hey, oh my gosh, Lori, happy birthday. I'm so excited. Like celebrating, whatever. Like just be excited and be passionate about that 15 seconds that you're interacting with them. Another way is create a care package. I was just having this conversation with Amanda about a friend of hers who's a brand new mommy, and how can she connect with her and serve her? That was the question. Like, how can I serve her? How can I connect with this woman? It's like, put a bunch of like pregnancy or nursing friendly products together, your favorite ones, in a little care package, and bring them to her, maybe with like a meal or her favorite coffee or tea or something. Like, there are so many ways. Get creative. If you don't know, Google it. If you aren't good at that stuff, then, you can absolutely ask somebody. Okay. But just be intentional with it and find a way to do that and add value to someone's life. Or writing them a note. I loved it when I first did this. I would write people handwritten notes and send it to them. How often do we get a nice card in the mail? Okay, that does not happen very often anymore. So in fact, I have all mine that people send me on my corkboard up here because I love it. It's amazing. Okay, so many different opportunities to add value to people's lives. So important. And if you're wondering like, okay, how is wishing somebody a happy birthday going to build my business? You guys, it's about people. We have to be focused on others. And we can say we're focused on others, but unless our actions prove that, we're not actually focusing on other people. Okay, so this is a really great, that's why it's step number 1. It's super important. Okay, step 2. Second step, read every day. Podcasts are okay too, but I encourage you to spend time in a book as much as possible. Now, even if it's just 1 page, okay, because for me, I'm a reader, but I know not everybody is. I love, my friend Bryn always talks about how she's like a bathroom reader. She's like, she can't finish a book. My husband, I think I've seen him finish 1 book in the last 6 years. Like, I know that's not everybody's personality, even if it's 1 page, even if it's 1 podcast, a 20-minute podcast while you're cooking or while you're at the gym. Get knowledge in your brain every single day. Now, I heard this quote and I loved it. Leaders are readers. So if you're not somebody who reads, or you're somebody who listens to music at the gym instead of a podcast, now, does that mean you can never listen to music again, or you can never read a romance novel again? No, but for right now, until you reach your goals and until you'll know when you have that confidence in yourself and that self-awareness, you'll know when you can start to shift and balance it a little bit more. But right now, you have to train yourself. You have to do it. Okay? Now, why we do this? This is how we grow. This is how we train ourselves. Outside of being in action, you have to supplement that with reading and tangible, tangible personal development tools. And how to do this? Find something that is success or industry related. Okay, again, this is not telling you to read a page of a science fiction novel every day. This isn't telling you to go find your favorite romance novel and read it while you're on the airplane. Like, find a book. John Maxwell, Tony Robbins, T. Harv Eker. There are a million people who have incredible knowledge to give to you. And you just have to dig away at it every single day. Okay? If you need a solid recommendation and you haven't read The Big Leap yet, start there. It's amazing. Okay, third step, branding. Okay? Make sure you all are muted. So third step is branding. All right, so I'm going to give you the logistics, like the tangible steps of the branding, and then in the second half of the call, Amanda and I are going to go into actual like helping you all brand yourselves. So when you're branding using the 2-week turnaround, your goal is to post 5 times a day. Okay, Can I get just some hands? How many people feel overwhelmed by that? Be honest. I did too. Yes. Okay. So 5 times a day, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to overwhelm my friends. People are going to think I'm crazy, that all I do is sit on Facebook all day long, or I can't think of that many things to post, blah, 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 blah. Those are all stories you're telling yourself that are keeping you from reaching the most people. Because I felt the same way, and then I just did it, and it changed everything. Everything changed. Okay, so I'm going to give you the different things that you're going to post about, and then I'm going to go into the why and the how. Okay, so one of your posts is going to be about health. So this can be anything health related, but make sure it's something you're actually passionate about. You know, like if you're posting random things about, I don't know, like celery, but no one cares. Like, you know what I mean? But if you're really passionate about farm grown foods, you know, if you're really passionate about herbal remedies, if you're really passionate about, I mean, all these things, we have an amazing vehicle with isagenixhealth.net. We have an amazing resource. You can find a bunch of different ideas in there. Now, I wouldn't post the article straight to Facebook because you still want to create that curiosity and keep Isagenix off your page as much as possible. Not because we're hiding anything, but because we want to have people come to us and be able to ask us those questions. But my goodness, go to isagenixhealth.net, find an article you think is so cool. They have all the sources listed there. So you can literally copy and paste from an article and know that it's research-based or from another study, or, I mean, it's all right there for you guys. So health, that's one post. Another post doesn't have to be your second one of the day, but one of your other posts is going to be about wealth creation. So that could be anything financial. I love to educate people on network marketing and residual income because I did not learn a thing about either in high school or my 7 years of college. Nobody taught me about residual income. Nobody taught me about network marketing. So now I feel like I need to do the world a favor and teach them what I now know. Okay, so find something about finances or wealth creation that you're passionate about, financial freedom, whatever that is, and do a bunch of research, find a bunch of articles, quotes, whatever, and that's going to be what you're going to post once a day about wealth or finances. Your third one is going to be lifestyle. So any sort of lifestyle post, this is how people connect to you as a human. Who are you? What do you do? And we're going to get into that in the second half and really help you figure out that branding piece. But again, just some lifestyle posts. Like if you have kids, people love seeing pictures of your adorable kids doing funny things. Or if you have a dog, I love people, like parents of dogs. I love how they really feel like their dogs are their kids. I think it's adorable. I've never had a pet before, but I love the fur babies. Keep it coming. You know, or if you're someone who likes to skydive, or you're someone who, you know, really likes your commute to work for whatever reason. I mean, just your lifestyle stuff. Okay, your fourth one is going to be a transformation picture. This was the hardest one for me because for whatever reason, I felt like the transformation pictures, I didn't know where to find them. I didn't want to share them out of integrity. I didn't want to share them the wrong way, blah, 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 all stories. If you're in the START group, if you're in Lean Body for Life, if you're in Isagenix testimonials, find some Facebook groups, go to the pictures, look for an awesome transformation photo. The story is usually listed there. And then if they say in the post, like, please do not share, don't share. Be respectful. But if they're open to you sharing, share those pictures, okay? And share the story, but don't just like plaster it up there. Have a reaction to it. Your transformation pictures that you're posting, it should start with your reaction like, oh my gosh, you guys, chills all over my body for Bob. I cannot believe that Bob was willing to say yes to himself and look at the transformation. Have a reaction to it. Because again, they're connecting with you. They don't actually care about Bob. They care about how you can serve them, how you can have a solution for them. Okay, that's what they really care about. Hi, buddy. My son is joining us on this recorded team call. Hey, where's Daddy? Can you go find Daddy for me? Okay. Anyways, we're going to keep going, guys. Okay, so that's with your transformation pictures, okay? And then your fifth one is going to be your product page. So we have Lean Body for Life, and we love Lean Body for Life. This is our storefront. This is how we're sharing with people who are kind of on the fence or not really sure. They just want to check it out. So every single day, you need to be adding value to that group. And in order to do that, you're going to be teaching. Okay, so you're teaching either through pulling articles from isagenixhealth.net, featuring products from isaproduct.com. I really love to show pictures of how we use product every day in our house with our kids. So, a picture of my son with a shake mustache and the recipe for his favorite shake and what it does for his little body. Okay, so you're teaching, not just like putting an article up there with no content or no context, but really be intentional and add value every single day. Okay, that's really important. And again, you're not meant to be a product expert. Very few of us are actually nutritionists or dietitians. Amy and Jacqueline, I love you. We're not all Amy and Jacquelines. Okay, so don't try to be an expert, but just be a teacher. Just be a guide, a source, and add value to that group. I've had people send me screenshots. My people send me screenshots of a post in that group that I did not put saying, hey, her story is my story. I want what she's doing. Okay, add value because it's going to add value to your people and everyone else's. There's over 7,000 people in our product group. We need to be loving on them every single day. And I'm going to encourage you all to have a sixth one, okay? So this is a sixth one, but this is not daily. This is you can daily, but this is for your business group. We have so many people in these business groups who are wanting to build, they feel stuck, they're going through the same exact concerns and insecurities that you're going through. So if you have a breakthrough moment or you listen to a podcast, Amanda's great at this. I know that Amanda is listening to podcasts every day because that girl's posting them in Empowered to Lead every single day. Like, oh my gosh, this one's amazing. Check this one out. Or, at minute 5, he says this has changed my business. If something's adding value to your business that week, don't be selfish. Yeah, I went there. Don't be selfish. Share it in Empowered to Lead so that we can all benefit from it. And take it a step further if you want extra credit. Post it in Start, post it in Primetime, post it in Isagenix Business. We have a bigger community outside of our business group, but for sure adding value to that business group so we can support each other as a team and get ourselves through our next goal. Okay, so business group is an extra credit, but again, don't post in there every day just some inspirational quote just to say you posted in there. Be intentional with it and post in there when something really changes your business or a light bulb goes off. Okay? All right, so why do we brand on social media? Again, we're going to get into more of the nitty gritty in this in a minute, but if you want to be successful, it is vital to be consistent. You have to be consistent, and in order to be consistent, you need a structure, okay? And with a structure comes a plan, and with that plan comes successful habits. So implementing this, and if you're like, well, I post a couple times a day, so I'll just remember to do it. No, you guys, I encourage you to write it down every day. And I'll show you an example of what I do. But every day until this becomes an actual habit, write down health, wealth, lifestyle, transformation, product page, and check it off as you go throughout the day. Okay, that structure, that plan is going to guide you into success because you're building successful habits. Okay, so again, more on branding in a little bit. So step 4 of the 2-week turnaround, goals. You are going to write your goals down every single day, okay? You're going to write the same goal down until you reach it, and then you're going to write the next goal down. So when I first started this felt super redundant to me. It just felt like, okay, I'm literally writing, Crystal Executive every day. And I'm like, this isn't helping. No, when you look, it's like a 42% higher chance of achieving your goal if you write it down every single day. Okay, that's why I love the Freedom Journal so much, because every day you start by saying what you're grateful for, and then you go into, in however many days you have left of your 100-day sprint, in blank days, I will be blank. You're putting it out there every single day. You're focused on it. Write your goals down every single day until you achieve it. Now, you can write one of 4 different types of goals down or write all 4 down. This is how big do you want to go? So your rank. What is the next rank you want to achieve? A team goal. Where do you want your team to be in the next, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, whatever. So your next rank, your team goal, a money goal. Do you need to make an extra $500 a week, a month, an extra $1,000 a week or month? Even though you know what your next rank is going to be, what is that next money goal that you absolutely need? Okay, so rank, team goal, money goal, and the last one is prestige or reputation or however you want to say it. What is something bigger scale that you want for your business? So for me, One of my goals is I want to train on stage. I want to train at a Core 4 event. And so that would be my prestige goal. Okay, so think about that. So what is the next rank that you want to achieve? What is a goal you have for your team? Maybe it's developing a team. Maybe you're brand new and you don't have a team yet. That's your goal. You know, in the next 6 months, I want to have 5 people who are running and doing this with me, or whatever that looks like. Your money goal. What is the next amount of money that you need just to give yourself a little bit more buffer room, a little bit more buffer room? Don't say like, oh, I want to make $1 million by the end of the year, unless you're almost there. Great. But be realistic with yourself. What does that look like for you? Next, focus on what that next goal is. And then prestige. That's the 4th one. Okay. So no matter what, write them down regularly. 42% higher chance of being successful in achieving it if you do this. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you all to do all 4, because if you haven't thought about 3 of them and you're just focusing on a rank or you're just focusing on money, this is going to take the pressure off of that one goal and help you focus on other things. Because like my next goal is hitting Crystal Executive for the Crystal Reset. But when I get overwhelmed by that, because I think about it constantly, it helps me to think about, okay, what's that next financial goal we need to hit? That we will hit once we get Crystal Executive, but it helps me focus same way, but just shifts my mind a little bit. Okay. All right. The 5th step of the 2-week turnaround, affirmations. Affirmations are a really, really powerful way to attach emotion to your goal. I'm specifically speaking to the Reds right now. We need to do this. Everyone needs to do this, but especially if you're somebody who's like super focused, structured, like give me a task, I will complete it. Attaching an emotion to your dream or to your goal is so vital. Maybe you're on the other end of that spectrum and all you do is think about emotional things and all you do is feel your goal and you need more structure. So this works for both. But I actually looked up what an affirmation is because I'm like, I've heard the word so many times and this was really difficult for me. I assumed affirmations was like something kind of hokey and weird where you're like floating in the air and repeating something over and over again. And I'm like, that's not my personality at all. But I was looking at it and the definition is actually emotional encouragement. That's what an affirmation is. It's emotional encouragement. And so we all need that. All of us. It doesn't matter what your personality color is. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. We all need emotional encouragement, especially because as much as we want to be there for each other, we cannot, every time we need emotional encouragement, we cannot just call somebody on our team and have them show up when we need them to in the moment and deliver exactly what we need. That's unrealistic. Now, granted, once in a while, someone can knock it out of the park. Like my girl Amanda last night, knocked it out of the park for me. I needed her. She stepped up exactly what I needed. Does that mean every single time I need her, she's going to be available? No. We talk till midnight. Like that's not realistic. You have to have affirmations. You have to train your mind so that you can be your own emotional encouragement. And then when you do need somebody else, they can step in and be that for you, but you're not relying on other people. You are responsible for building your own success. You have to do affirmations. Okay, and I have a couple examples for you because, again, this part was really difficult for me. I had no idea where to even start with an affirmation. So a really good one that I've heard before, Lynette Davis does this one and she loves it. Every day in every way, my life gets better and better. Simple, but say it with passion. Every day in every way, my life gets better and better. Say it 10 times in a row to yourself out loud in the mirror. If you think it sounds cheesy and weird, you need to step outside your comfort zone and be willing to be successful because you will not be successful in your comfort zone. So if you feel uncomfortable doing this, but I'm telling you it will help you, you need a gut check. Do it anyway. I'm not asking you to stand up in front of 500 people and do it, although someday you will. But for right now, just do it in front of you. And if you're uncomfortable with that, that's a great place to start. Take that step. Another good one. This is what I use because I like short and simple, but I want it to be flexible. I can, so I will. And then I fill in the blank. I can blank, so I will. I can develop leaders, so I will. I can be successful financially, so I will. I can have a strong, healthy body, so I will. So however that looks for you. Another one is God's wealth is circulating through my life. And then you can expand on that. So just think about what's going to resonate most with you. When I first did this, I Googled affirmations, financial affirmations, health affirmations. You can find a lot of options. Some are really weird, but find one that resonates with you and start there. It will get easier, I promise. Okay, so we're going to transition into the branding piece of this. So if you have any questions on any of that so far, please put it in the chat, and then I'll make sure to get to it at the end. Okay, we're going to move on. So branding. So when you're looking at your 2-week turnaround, step 3 is branding yourself on social media. I gave you the steps, like the post about health, post about wealth. But now we're going to get into that nitty-gritty of how to actually brand you. Okay, so this is when you need to get a pen and a paper. And I'm going to give you just a couple of things to set the mind frame, and then I'm going to go in and we're going to do a little bit of an activity. Okay, so every time you post, this is what you need to think about. Every time you post, you're building a relationship. Now, you're not doing it for likes and comments, although that is a tangible way for us to see how many people we're connecting with, but that's not realistic. That's like saying your entire health journey relies on the scale. We all know that's hogwash, okay? Your entire connection, branding journey does not rely on likes and comments. That's nice, and it's a really great gauge, but that's not all of it, okay? Because I know some of you on this call have had people reach out to you, and you're like, you have never commented or liked on anything I've ever posted, and you're reaching out to me because you know I can change your life. People are watching, okay? I promise. So every time you post, think I'm building a relationship. And that's going to help you really make sure that your wording and your image and your message is on point, okay? You're building a relationship. Now, this is not your only way to connect with people. It's a really important way, but if you're hiding behind your computer screen and you're only building your business through social media, you will hit a plateau. You will hit a place where you're super stagnant and you're not going to get the kind of momentum and success to get you to where you actually want to be. Can you do that in spurts when life is just crazy? And, like when I had a newborn, for the first 3 weeks after having Maddie, yeah, I connected with people through social media exclusively. But I had a little bit of a reason. But you guys really think about that. This is a really powerful way to leverage and cast the net, but this is not the only way you're connecting. Okay, so your brand is how you want to serve the world. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. This is where the call gets a little bit more direct, a little bit more individualized. Okay, let me just real quick mute everybody again. Okay, perfect. Okay, so first I want everybody take a deep breath in. Oh, and let it out. I have you do that, and if you need to do a couple more, please do. But I have you do that because for the next few minutes, you're going to focus on you. Not superficially, not surface level. We're going to dig, okay? We're going to dig deep, and I want you to be really honest with yourself and be okay with being authentic. Because when I've done this with people before, a lot of the responses that they give themselves are things they think people want to hear from them or people think they want them to be. That doesn't matter. Okay, right now we just need to know who you are. And we're going to use that to brand yourself on social media. Okay, so be very honest with yourself as we do this. Okay, first thing I want you to do on your paper, you can either create a box that you can fit like a list of, 5 to 10 things, or you can do just like sections, however you want to do it. But the first section is going to be what interests you. Okay, what makes you tick? What makes you different and quirky? Not like you're the only person in the whole world who likes this, but some questions you can ask yourself. What kind of music do you like to listen to? If you had an extra day this week, like there was an 8th day this week, what would you do with that day? How would you spend that day? If you were stuck on an island with 3 things, what would they be? And then ask your network of friends. I've seen people do this on Facebook. This is a great idea. Hey, what's a word that comes to mind when you think of me? And I know people get really freaked out by that, but when you do it, it's so powerful because other people's opinions of you, if you're someone who struggles with self-esteem and self-worth, other people's opinions of you tend to be more on point with who you actually are than your own opinion of yourself. If you went to University in Action, you heard Carrie MacArthur talk about that on stage. It was so powerful. Okay? So ask your friends and family, like what kinds of things, like when you see something, have you guys ever gone through a store and you see the most random thing and you're like, oh my gosh, a rubber duck nightlight? I totally have to get that for so-and-so. I don't know why I thought of that. But you see these random gifts in a store or a shop and you think of, oh my gosh, I have to get that for this person. One of my really good friend's moms was obsessed with wind chimes, and they moved halfway across the country when we were in like 10th grade, and I haven't really seen her since then. But every time I see a wind chime, I still think, gosh, she would really love that. It would be so random to send her a wind chime, but you know what I mean? Like, what are those things that people think about when they think of you? If you knew me in college, my entire dorm room was orange because people knew I liked the color orange. So literally everything people bought me was orange. A little overboard, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But just ask those questions, because those are the things that you may not think about because it just seems so normal to you. But that's important because that's how you want to build relationships with people on social media. Okay. So like a couple examples. I like Justin Bieber. I'm okay with it. I know not everybody agrees, but I don't care because I pray for him. He's made some interesting life choices, but I dig his music. He's very talented. Okay. I love Justin Bieber. One of the examples I gave at a training I did was I really like tan lines. I'm excited when the sun comes out and like I have a reference point of like how less pale I am, like just things like that. Like, what are some of those random things that you like to do or that you like to spend your time on? Okay, the second section, so second box, second section, however you want to do it. How do you spend your time? So this can have a little bit of overlap with what interests you, but this is how you actually spend your time. So think about what you do on a daily basis and a weekly basis. Now, some of you are thinking, I go to work, I come home, I put on my yoga pants, boy or girl, doesn't matter. I eat dinner, and then I go to bed, or I watch Netflix, or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. But think about what you do on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. And when you're making that list, write it down. Like, legitimately write down your day and your week. When you're making that list, if you look at it and you're like, my life is kind of boring, that's a clue. Go do stuff. Go up to that first section and think, okay, well, what do I like to do? What am I interested in? And then go find things to do that have to do with that stuff. Okay, this is going to change your life, because you have to live authentically with who you are and what you put out there on Facebook. And if you think like, I don't really have anything to post about, I don't really have anything to share, that's probably a sign that you need to go out and live a little bit more. Okay, so we're having some real moments here. So think about it like this. Use the 2-week turnaround template to kind of guide what these things are. So what do you do that has to do with health every single day? Do you have 2 shakes a day? You should, because they're amazing. They're really good for you. Are you working out every day? Or not every day, but as much as possible during the week? So think about those things that have to do with health. What are things that you do around wealth every single day or every single week? Every Monday we get paid. That's awesome. Even if you don't get paid every Monday right now, at some point you will. So you can still talk about that and how exciting it is that there is an industry out there, or there's a company out there that wants to pay you daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So just think about those things. Like, expand your mindset around what you do on a weekly and daily basis. And again, if you don't do much, change that. There's so many different options to get involved, but you have to make that intentional effort, okay? One of the things that I say to a lot of people, and if you've heard me say this, you'll probably chuckle to yourself because I do say it a lot. Whenever we're getting opinions flying at us from other people, if you would not trade lives with that person, their opinion should hold no weight in your life. Okay? Now I'm going to flip it on you. If you are having a hard time coming up with things that you would want to talk about, and again, time is a different issue. If you're working like 100 hours a week and you're like killing it at the gym and that's like the only 2 things you do, good job. Good job. But if you're this person who's like, yeah, not really doing much with my time, could be managing it better, whatever. I'm going to have this is extra credit information here. If you don't think someone else would want to trade lives with you, then it's probably time to shift some things and do it for yourself. You're going to boost your self-esteem when you are in action more. You're going to make more connections when you're out and about doing things you actually like. Okay? For those of us who live in a place with a really insane winter, excuses are gone. The weather's great. Okay? All right. So the next one, this is the third section, the last one. So who are you at the core? What identifies you? What is your mission? So think about things like for instance, for me, my faith, my family, and my health. Okay. Those are 3 things that are vitally important to me. Vitally. So what do you stand for? When somebody would describe you, like who this person actually is, not what do they do or what makes you like them, who is this person? And maybe you're having a hard time with that. Find someone who loves you and have that conversation and have them help you pull that out of yourself. Really important. I'll give you some examples. So for me, with my faith and my lifestyle, the examples I'm going to give you, because branding is really important. We're going to talk about hashtags. So I'm going to tell you like what some of my hashtag examples are when it comes to the core of who I am. And now you'll start to see them on my posts. So for faith, anything that has to do with my faith or a lifestyle that I believe in is be extraordinary. Okay. And then anything that has to do with my family, that's also like my wealth creation that I believe in, and with residual income and network marketing, is full-time family. And then with my health is mom body, strong body. So having an identity with each of those things. So like my health is really important to me, but why? What is my niche? Do I care that everyone's healthy? Of course. But my passion is helping moms redefine the mom body so that we can find beauty through self-care. That's my mission. That's my passion. So what is yours? And if you don't have one yet, now's a good time to develop that. Okay, a couple of pro tips for you, and then we're going to transition because I want Amanda to talk to you about branding on Instagram because it's a little bit different. So a pro tip for you, start a secret Facebook group to stage your posts. Okay, so if you don't have secret, you guys make sure it's secret, not closed or public, secret, like no one can even find it. Okay, so a secret Facebook group where just you are in it. Okay, just you. Now why? Because when you see a really good post that you just love, you can share it into your group. It's like a place to collect ideas. Okay, and then you can go in and you can edit and you can actually write those posts and spend time every week doing that. Spend like an hour going through just your staging group and writing posts so that your mind's in that mind frame. And then when you're like, okay, I need a post because you're doing the 2-week turnaround, you can go into your staging group, find one and post it. It's already done for you. So not only is this a great place to store ideas, but it makes you so much more effective and efficient. Okay? Take a lot of pictures of yourself on the days that you're feeling really good. All right? We don't all look amazing every single day. Well, we do because we're awesome and beautiful, but we don't always feel amazing. So when you're feeling really good, like you have yourself put together, or you're just like your energy's high and you know that you're putting that out there into the world, take a bunch of pictures of yourself doing different things. Change your outfit a couple of times. Go spend time with some friends and do things. Like take a lot of stock pictures, put them in your staging group, and then when you have a quote or something that really resonates with you, you've probably seen my posts. They've changed. I started doing this and it's changed everything. Put the quote on the picture because you're branding you. Now, you're not taking credit for the quote necessarily, but you're branding that that's something you believe in. And people will resonate with that. I have not yet been, no one has, what is the word? Convicted? I don't know. No one has accused me, that's it, of plagiarism or, whatever, stealing because I put someone else's quote on my picture. Because I'm not saying dash Rachel Briscoe. It's like, no, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. And I'm putting it out there. That's bold. Okay. And that's going to be for your power posts. Now, again, let me talk about power posts in a second. So you want to be bold and authentic without attaching emotion to the outcome. We talked about likes and comments. You're not always going to get the likes and comments that you want. Sometimes you'll get more and it's exciting. But if you get like 2 or 3 likes and no comments, that's okay. I guarantee you somebody saw it. It's planted a seed, and just keep going. Be consistent. Okay? So have a few hashtags that you use consistently. I shared mine with you. Think about the core of who you are, and that's going to be like your consistent brand that you're going to just keep plugging in no matter what the post is. So think about what that would be and some hashtags that go along with it. Be creative. You want it to flow. You want it to be memorable. I think it's really important that like my Be Extraordinary hashtag, I made extra in extraordinary, all capital letters. And I have people who will send me notes and they're like, thank you for being extraordinary. And they make extra all big. And it makes my heart sing because it means I'm making an impact on them. So really think about that. Be intentional with your hashtags. That's so important because people read hashtags. I always thought hashtags were so silly until I started using them. And then I transitioned to the dark side and I'm cool with it. And you want to create a mission statement for yourself on how you want to impact the world. It doesn't have to be formal and like written in, calligraphy on a scroll. It doesn't have to be like that. But one of my missions is my heart belongs to people who need what I have. That's part of my mission statement. And so just understanding that about yourself is really going to help your branding flow so much easier. If no more than 1 or 2 power posts a week, okay? So if you're posting a lot, like if you're doing the 2-week turnaround, you're posting 5 times a day, you can do 2 power posts a week. If you're not posting super consistently, 1. Okay, that's really important, because if you're doing a power post every single day, you're going to lose people. People are going to be like, too much. It's intense all the time. But if you're just like, oh, look at my cool life and look at my puppy and oh, yay, payday on Monday. You're just like dripping, 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 maybe bigger drip, maybe smaller drip. And then all of a sudden you're just like, mic drop. People are like, oh, that's awesome. And then you pick the mic back up and you just run with your life. You're like, and my life is cool and my life is hard, but it's still silver line. Like, you have to have a flow with it, okay? That's really important. And then this, oh my gosh, you guys, do not share each other's posts. You are branding you. If Amanda has a dynamic post and I read it, I'm like, girl is on point. I'm not going to hit the share button unless I'm sharing it into my staging group. I'm going to hit the share button into my staging group, but otherwise, I'm not going to share it to my wall and claim it as my own, because all I'm doing is branding Amanda. And I'm just showing people that I like other people's ideas. And not that that's wrong, but you're branding you. Okay? That takes credibility away. That takes respect away when you're branding somebody else. Okay? And they're going to be able to tell. You can steal each other's posts, but I encourage you, because I've had people do this to me, and if you're using someone else's words, unless you literally talk like them, you have the same vision as them, the same mission as them, if you do that too many times, it's just plain lazy, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. Use your own words. If you like someone's idea, take it as your own and add your own flair to it. But really take that time, because people are going to be able to tell, especially if you're consistent on social media, people are going to be able to tell if you're using your own voice or somebody else's. And it's not going to ring true like you want it to. Okay, so I'm going to have Amanda share a little bit about branding on Instagram. And then at the end, you guys, I'm going to talk about what your challenge is for this week, what your challenge is, what the prizes are, and kind of what that team challenge activity will be. So Amanda, can you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yeah. I saw there was a question. Do you want to
answer?
Yeah. Della asked, can you describe what a power post is?
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, yes, Della. So a power post would be something like when you look at the core of who you are, those things that you wrote down, like this is my identity, something that's going to really ring true, but it's going to be like powerful call to action type of a thing. So for instance, you could do a power post like a transformation of yourself. Like if you've never posted a transformation of yourself on Facebook, it's pretty liberating and scary as heck. But I've done a couple of those, and that would be my power post, where I would just put myself out there like, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's changed my life. Not like, woohoo, look at me go. That's not a power post. But the picture, it's more like the content is the power post. So you want to choose your words. What's the message you want to put out there? But it could even be things like something that's transformed you with residual income. So I love seeing those power posts about people who have been set free financially because of network marketing and Isagenix. And they'll talk about it. They'll say, I used to be here and now I'm here. So think about your 30-second story, things like that. There's also another way to power post. It's called the dip theory, where you can take people on a little bit of a journey and you can kind of dip them into a low point in your life, but you always bring them back out. I was here and I was in a dark place for a long time. Insert whatever your situation is. But now I'm this. You want to show people, like, if they can relate to you down here where you dipped, you want to show people that you have a way out and that you did it and they can too. So your power post should really be about empowering people to make a decision. Obviously, we know we have a solution for everything essential in life, health and finances and time. So really focus your power post around that and your journey. So if you need more explanation, I can definitely talk about that more in Empowered to Lead, but that was a really great question, Della. Okay, so Amanda, please hop on with us. And Amanda, you guys, I know so many people in Empowered to Lead, even when they see Amanda at events, they're like, oh my gosh, you're Amanda Pike. Like she's a celebrity, which is so cute because I've known her since we were super awkward and 13. But she is like amazing with Instagram. Like her consistency and her like how she uses her hashtags and her knowledge. She actually just finished a training, like she was watching a training on it. She has so much information. And I know a lot of you have been impacted by her tips. So all in one place, here it is. She's going to talk about branding on Instagram, how it's different than Facebook and why it's important. So Amanda, take it away.
All right, great. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So all of those tips are really, really good. They really translate across any social media platform. Like when Rachel was going through the 5 things to post about, another thing that Rachel trained me on in the beginning was thinking about what is this post going to do? Is it going to make someone laugh? Is it going to educate them, inspire them, motivate them, ask them a question? If it doesn't do one of those things and it doesn't relate to one of those topics, don't post it. But I always think like, okay, I could take a picture of my lunch, cool, but that's not really going to create a lot of value for people. So I should take a picture of my lunch, and then what? Do I make people laugh? Could I say something that makes them laugh? Could I give a tip about a certain, vegetable that's in my salad, or a meal prepping tip, or whatever it is? So it's not just that you're posting just to post. I think Rachel did a good job on that, but you can also think like, is this going to make someone laugh, educate them, inspire them, motivate them, ask them a question, or get them to ask me a question, pique their curiosity, something like that. So I just wanted to add that. Okay, so I think all of us are really, really familiar and comfortable with Facebook. Of course, like you found out about this call because you were in a Facebook group, which is great. But Instagram is a really, really powerful, I think it's kind of an untapped resource for a lot of people. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how Facebook and Instagram are a little bit different and why you should be tapping into Instagram. So I'm on my phone, so I can only see a few of you right now, but raise your hand if you have an Instagram account. All right, good. Okay, I see some hands. Oh, perfect. Okay, if you don't have an Instagram account, get one. It's free, obviously, get one ASAP. So the main difference, the way I think about the difference between Instagram and Facebook is people that you sent a friend request to, or they've sent you a friend request. You've mutually accepted that you're going to be friends with each other. You probably know them through school, work, friends of friends, family, something like that. It's a definitely hot or warm market. Maybe some of you have started connecting with people that you don't know, so it's a little bit more of a colder market. Like maybe you met them in a mutual Facebook group, or Facebook popped up and said, hey, you may know this person, but they're still a relatively they're a relatively warm audience. You know them somehow, you've both agreed to be friends on Facebook. Instagram is like an ice cold market. I mean, you probably do, if you are on Instagram, follow people that you know and they follow you, but the reason why you should be on Instagram is because it's an incredible venue to your cold market. So yes, go out and meet people face to face. That's the best way to do it, like Rachel said. But another way to increase build your network is to do it through Instagram, because it's almost like a fully public place. It's where you're going to be connecting with people that live all over the world, all over the country. You don't know them. They don't know you. They're not exposed to your posts all the time. So that's a great way to connect with them. So that's what I say. And of course, same with Facebook, like make your profile public. If you haven't already done that on Facebook, you need to do that. But also on Instagram, just when you set up your account, make sure it's public. And then post. So I like to save time. I will post the same content on Instagram that I do on Facebook. I take the time to write one post, and I post it in both places. But I have a trick. So what I do is I post on Instagram first. If I took a photo, or if I screenshotted something, a quote that I liked, or found something on the internet, I'll actually post it to Instagram first, because Instagram will crop your photo into a square. If you guys don't already know that, Instagram photos have to be square. So I put my photo into Instagram, I write my content, and then I post it there. That will automatically save that square cropped photo to your phone. Then I go to Facebook and I upload that photo there. So I do a lot of screenshotting. I have a private group, like Rachel said, but I also do a lot of just screenshotting. Like, oh, Emily Vavra, I love that quote, screenshot. Oh, Rachel, she did this awesome post, screenshot. And then I can just upload that screenshot to Instagram. It crops it into a square. Then I just go ahead and put that on Facebook. So that's saving you time right there. I use the same caption on both places, but my hashtags are very, very different, and I'll explain that in a second why. But I want to make clear, you don't need to be creating separate content for Instagram. It could be the same content. You create the post. If you're going to post it on Facebook, take 2 extra seconds and post it on Instagram, but do it the other way around. That's my suggestion. Double whammy there. So for some people don't know this, but like hashtags started in the programming computer developer world, where it was a tag, and they were tagging a project. So they were tagging it with a category or a topic. So like Rachel described her hashtag, she's like, I use this one for health topics, this one for wealth topics, this one for, what was it, empowered to lead things. But she is categorizing those herself. So she's going to use different hashtags on different
post because it's based on a category. So when I post a recipe, I'm going to find a whole bunch of hashtags to talk about recipes. I'm not going to post about residual income because it's a recipe post. It's not residual income post. So that's how hashtags work. And on Facebook, hashtags are great. They're more of a personal branding thing. We read them, we see them. Some people search with hashtags, but not so much. Instagram is a totally different story. Instagram is used for searching hashtags. There's a way that if you click on the hashtag, or even if you go to the little search, the little hourglass, magnifying glass, you can actually search for hashtags. That is what people are looking for. So people are looking for a gluten-free recipe. They will search for gluten-free recipe, hashtag gluten-free recipe, and all the posts will come up that are actual gluten-free recipes. Facebook, people are not using it to search like that. So your hashtags are going to be a little bit different. The way that I think about it is I'll do fun kind of branding hashtags in both places on Facebook, and then I do my category hashtags on Instagram. So a hashtag I use a lot is hashtag stop dieting. And I use stop dieting on a lot of my transformation posts, and if I'm posting fun food, fun recipes. So that's my fun hashtag stop dieting. And maybe people search for that and maybe they don't, but that's what I use there. But what people do search for that I wouldn't use necessarily on Facebook would be like hashtag fit fam. So that's a big one on Instagram, like fit family, fit fam. Hashtag get fit, hashtag transformation, hashtag before and after, hashtag fit girl. Like there's a million hashtags that I will plug in on Instagram that I will not use on Facebook. So Facebook, I think I'm
Bunny rabbit.
A little bit. Sorry.
No.
The personal branding
No.
hashtag
No.
go in both places. Oh.
I said no.
All right, Amanda, go ahead and unmute yourself again.
Okay. So personal branding hashtag, so you write let me just cut to the chase. You're on Instagram, you write your caption, you're gonna put your personal branding, two or three max hashtags in your comment, in your caption. Then you're gonna put some periods or some dashes with hard returns. I put like 20 or 30. I just put a whole bunch because I don't want this to look spammy. Then I add in all of my searchable hashtags. I don't want people, and you put 20 to 30. 30 hashtags is the max you can put on Instagram, but 20 to 30 in there. People are searching hashtags on Instagram. They're not searching hashtags on Facebook. So you do not need to put your 20 to 30 hashtags on Facebook. Facebook is when you're doing your fun kind of subliminal messaging, like hashtag cellular cleansing, hashtag nutritional reset. People don't know what that means. They're not searching for that on Instagram, but they're reading your hashtags on Facebook. So I hope that kind of makes sense. You don't put your 20 to 30 hashtags on Facebook. Only put that in on Instagram. So Instagram, you have your picture, your caption, maybe you have a couple fun personal branding hashtags right there. Then add a bunch of periods or a bunch of dashes with hard returns, like a lot. And then you're going to plug in your 20 to 30 searchable hashtags there. So the reason why that's so big is that people go to Instagram to actually like find coaches. Like I have found all of my bodybuilding coaches on social media. I have found a lot of my personal development inspirations on social media. I like hair tutorials, makeup tutorials, like bikini competitors when I was competing. Hashtag bikini competitor is a huge hashtag where you should be using that on your posts. People are looking at that stuff. That they want to find personal trainers. It's like a thing, not personal trainers, but like online coaches. That is the fitness world is huge on Instagram. Hashtag fit mom, hashtag healthy mom, hashtag SAHM mom, stay at home mom, right? That stuff is huge. So, Rachel, I don't know if you want me to talk about the hashtag generator because I talked about that on another call, but I can if you want. But basically, what I wanted to talk about was the difference between Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is your cold market. People are searching for that. They want to find recipes, transformations. It's all photo based. So your photos are so powerful. Whatever you're posting, make it clean, make it bright, make it inviting, make it not blurry. You know, you want really intentional, great posts on Instagram because it's all photo based. If you think you scroll a lot on Facebook, people scroll miles on Instagram. It's all photos. So get the good lighting on when you're taking a photo of your salad or you're taking a photo of your shake or your transformation photo, and use your hashtags intentionally. Do not spam Facebook with all your hashtags. Also, I think there's an app that will connect your Facebook and your Instagram together. Don't use that because then it will pull all of your hashtags over and it'll show that someone was lazy and that you just copied it over from Instagram. So you just use your copy paste on your phone Do it separate. It takes just a couple seconds. I have found tons of people on Instagram that I never would have met. We have 0 friends in common. They live in Canada or they live in the UK. There's no way on Facebook we ever would have been connected, but they are active on Instagram, especially the younger crowd. The younger crowd is a lot more active on Instagram than they are on Facebook. So that's why you have to have a presence in both places. Rachel.
Yeah, Amanda. So we have Jessica has her hand up. She has a question, and then I'll read the question from Della. So Jessica, do you want to go ahead and ask your question? Be sure. Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, Jessica, we can't hear you. Jessica, do you want to type your question in the chat? Are you able to unmute? Okay, I can't unmute you from this side. So Jessica, if you're able to do your chat, or if you want to message your question to Amanda directly or in the group and tag her so that everyone can hear. Is that okay? Okay, sorry. If you figure it out, hop in for sure. Okay, so Della asked, for Instagram, is it better to use a hashtag that has many hits already or one that has none?
Many hits already. The hashtags that are probably going to have none would be like your personal branding hashtag until you build it, and then a lot of people will start using it. But you want to use hashtags that people are searching for, and that's why I use a hashtag generator. It's an app called Tag-O-Matic, Tagomaic. There are other hashtag generators. Just search hashtag generator. It's a free app that is using an algorithm, so I can type in what this post is about. It's a salad. I can type in salad, and it's gonna generate all the most trending, most popular, most frequently used hashtags that were also with hashtag salad, if that makes sense. And then I plug that in there. If you are using all you do is your unique hashtag, like if all Rachel did was hashtag mom body strong body, she would have people that knew what that was, but people don't know what they don't know. They don't know to search mom body strong body, but they do know to search fit mom. I want to know what does a fit mom look like, or fit pregnancy. Those are just, or gluten-free recipe, or whatever it is, morning routine, personal development quote, those kinds of things. So I hope that helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Jessica asked, how do you know which of the groups to post in? So Jessica, are you talking about from product group or business group or things like that? How do you determine which group is best to post in personal Facebook page versus Lean Body versus, okay. So, so when you're adding value to your product group, like Lean Body for Life, you're adding value just about product lifestyle. A lot of those posts you can also post on your personal page. So sometimes you'll see, if I post a picture of my kids drinking a shake and I'm explaining the recipe and how it's amazing that my 3-year-old isn't picky and gets all his vegetables in a day, things like that. I can post that in Lean Body for Life, but it also is something that would be beneficial for my network. So I would post that on my Instagram and on my Facebook as well. Did that answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, I would say don't reinvent the wheel. If you're posting a transformation on your personal page, post that in Lean Body for Life. Mm-hmm. If you're posting, but what I do is I get tricky because I don't ever say the word Isagenix on it. If you go way back, you'll see some bad photos of me with my Isagenix water bottle, and I've obviously moved past that. But I will write a post not mentioning Isagenix. I love this nutrition system, blah, 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 blah. I will put that same thing into Lean Body for Life, but I will write Isagenix, or 30-day cleansing and fat burning system, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So you can get smart there, but don't feel like you need to recreate the wheel all the time. Lori, I saw that you asked if you should be posting multiple times on Instagram. Yes. So the same amount of times. If you're posting on Facebook 5 times, you should be posting on Instagram 5 times. Now, keep in mind, you can't post text only in Instagram. It has to have a photo with it or a video. So if you're posting I know on Facebook you can ask for recommendations, hey, who knows of a dentist in this area, and it's just text only recommendation. You can't always do that on Instagram. So you can either screenshot your question, screenshot that and put it in Instagram, or just skip it, but make sure that you're posting multiple times a day on Instagram. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you think that you don't have time to post, I'm going to challenge you, because you do. Because here's what I do. I work a full-time 9-to-5 marketing job, and then I usually go to the gym, and then I usually have Isagenix calls all night long. So what do? When I'm on the bus, if I am walking on the street, or if I'm on the bus, it's bad. My face is down and I'm posting on social media. So I post on the bus on the way to work. I post on my lunch break, I post on the bus on my way home from work, and then I try to post once more before bed. So use every single second that you have, if you need to post on social media, and don't hem and haw like, I'm going to take 3 hours to write this post. Use Rachel's tip about pre-writing your post if you can. Lovingly copy posts from other people, and use your time when you can, because the algorithms are real things. The algorithms, if you don't post for a while, your stuff will not show up when you do post. We just won't see it and we'll miss it. And even Facebook is like, Carity is one of my best friends. She writes so many comments and posts on Facebook. We are messaging each other. We are commenting on Facebook. I still miss her posts. It doesn't show up in my newsfeed. Facebook is just, it's weird. It's trying to guess what you want to see. And I'm like, Facebook, you're dumb. Like, you should know, because I mention Carity in a bunch of comments all the time. Like, I want to see her posts, right? So you have to try to outsmart it, but you have to be consistent and you have to post. I try to post 3 times a day. Would love to post 5 times a day, like Rachel said, but I'm dedicated to 3. Before work, at lunch, after work. Sometimes 4. I should say 4. Sometimes I get a 4th one in. That's better than posting once every 3 weeks, but it's a really great power post.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that helps.
Absolutely. And we'll take one more question. So Danielle asked about the option with Isagenix, Instagram, to automatically post to your Facebook as well. And Amanda, we talked about that. You can do it, but then you can still edit it. Like, it'll put it over in Facebook and you can edit it before you post it, right? So you can take out all those extra hashtags.
I don't know. I don't use that. I'm not a believer in that. I think it takes 2 extra seconds if you copy paste and put it into Facebook. I don't like when people use those automatic posters like Hootsuite or things, like it says it in there, because that company, like, so it'll say posted from Instagram or posted from Hootsuite or posted from Owly or whatever you're using. I'm like, I don't like that. I think it looks bad. I think you can take 2 extra seconds and just paste it and use the same photo onto Facebook. That's
Yeah.
It's really, really obvious if you do it, because I have some friends in Isagenix that are doing that, and it literally takes what you posted on Instagram and puts it to Facebook. There is no in between. There is no editing. And you can tell because all those little periods, and then at the bottom, it'll have all of your hashtags, and it's really irritating because nobody wants to read all those hashtags, and it will say posted from Instagram. And it will usually say on your picture, if you import it from Instagram as well, even without any of your quotes or anything, it will say posted from Instagram. So you can tell if somebody's being quote unquote lazy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So good tips. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the call, because we could talk about this all night. But if you guys are curious, you're like, okay, this is a lot of good information, but you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, go follow Amanda on Instagram and scroll through her posts. Find her on Facebook, find me on Facebook, scroll through our posts, and just so you can get examples. Because now that you have the context, when you can actually see it done and see what we've done with it, look at it and make it your own. Because just because we're doing it doesn't mean it's going to be the most effective for you. We're fine-tuning our process every single day. But you won't know until you actually put it into action. Amanda's last name is Pike. Good question, Danielle. So Amanda Pike.
Amanda Pike Fitness.
Amanda Pike Fitness on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so super important. Find people that you resonate with. Like, I love Emily Vavra. I love her. And Laura Stevens. They do amazing things on social media. So I follow them, and I love seeing what they do. In fact, probably 50% of my staging group is Emily Vavra. Whatever. Someday when we're besties, I'm going to show her, and she's going to think it's awesome. So, okay, we're going to move on. I'm going to close out this call with your challenge for the week. So we are on week 2 of the Essentials Team Challenge. It's our spring team challenge. And this week we are challenging you to implement the 2-week turnaround. So you are going to track it somehow. And I'll give you an example of mine. I actually took pictures of this while Amanda was training. I took pictures and I posted it in Empowered to Lead. But this is how I tracked my 2-week turnaround. And so you guys can see it in the group. But I took a notebook. And if you're wondering, at the top it says HMB. That's Healthy Mind and Body. So every day I would check it off that I finished it. But tracking it in a notebook, you can track in a Word document, in an Excel document, however you want to do it. But somehow tangibly track that you're doing the 2-week turnaround. You're adding value, step 1. You're reading every day, step 2. You're branding every day, step 3. You're writing your goals down every day, step 4. And then step 5 is affirmation. So somehow track that you're doing that every day this week. And then on Sunday, before you go to bed, Sunday night, email empowered2lead@gmail.com. So the 2 is the number 2. empowered2lead@gmail.com with your proof. So whether that's a picture of your notebook, whether that's your Word document that you tracked it in or that you're tracking it in, however you want to do that. But Sunday, before you go to bed, send that to that email address. And for every day that you did it, so even if you send it on Sunday and you only did one day, or maybe you did 5 or you did all 7, send that there. And for every day you finished it, you'll get a point. Okay, and the person with the highest points wins at the end of the week. And I'll talk about the prize in a second. Oh no, I'm going to talk about it now. So the person with the highest points at the end of the week will get 2 free boxes of eShots. Ah! I know everyone's like, yeah, I want it. And even if you don't like eShots, somebody in your life does, and you can gift it to them and they'll love you. And even if you get to Friday and you haven't started and you're like, well, it's, oh well. No, still do it, still start it, because you want to be successful, because anybody who sends any proof in, even if it's one day, you will be entered into a drawing for 1 free box of eShots. So no matter what, there's 2 winners this week. Person with the highest points gets 2 boxes, and the person who is drawn at random will get 1 box, and we'll announce it on the team call next Monday. Okay, so I'm going to update the team challenge post with the details of this. In the post for this team call, I put a picture of my template, and if you go into the file section of Empowered to Lead, you will see the 2-week turnaround is one of the documents, and Bryn typed out like step by step how to do it. And in the comments of that document, I also put the picture of my template that I used. Okay, just so you guys have a reference point. All right, so go brand yourself on social media. Fail forward, just do it, okay? Don't overthink it. If you have questions, you can ask for feedback, but ultimately, you guys, you just have to be consistent, and then adding those extra 5 steps from the 2-week turnaround is going to completely turn around your business, okay? It's going to be amazing. So, Lori, good question. Everyone who entered for last week, you are entered for the grand prize drawing at the end. Okay, so last week there was no like weekly prize, but that was actually like a bonus week. We weren't going to start it that week, but we did because, it's fun. But yeah, so everyone who entered or who sent an email got 2 entries into the grand prize drawing for the end of the challenge. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your evening, and happy Monday.
Thank you, Rachel.